Hey, hey, Universe and mining family. Grab your shovels and your pickaxes. Welcome to the show. I'm Nemesis, and of course, I'm not your babysitter. Do your own research, but let's dig in. I hope that's a lot better, guys. Do I have sound now? Do we have sound? Can anybody hear me? Yes? No? Okay, cool, better, excellent. Some reason my microphone got unplugged. I've been like trying to set up everything here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Let me get my monitor back up over here so I can see everybody chatting away. Oh yes, no problem, EJ. I'd love to help out. Like I said, I'll get back to you as soon as I get done with the live stream. I did see that you posted with another question. I've been just setting all of this up, so been kind of a little busy for a little bit. I hope you understand. Hey, Crypto Nafi, what's going on, my man? I hope you guys are prepared. I'm going to be doing some fan maintenance here. As you see, this fan doesn't like to spin. This one will spin for days. And then this one's like, eep, eep. And then I got another one here. This fan's even worse. It doesn't even try to flick in the slightest bit. It's like, and then this one spins, of course. These are my two problem childs. They started overheating on me, living life at around 70 to 75 cm. Like, time to get those off the rig. I do have an older graphics card if I have enough time. This is my brother's card, a GTX 980 Ti blower card. I'd like to replace the thermal compound on this since it's never been cracked open, and maybe even clean this out. And then I have this Zotac 1080 Ti. This one I got from Digital Gold. It's not bad of a card, but she does live life a little hot, so I'd like to actually do some maintenance onto this one, replace the thermal grease on this one, replace thermal pads and add a few thermal pads. Should be interesting, trying to get the Zotac to have a better cooling solution. Ah yes, those cards are great, aren't they? So, let's see here. I've got paper towels to be able to clean the old compound off. I have some isopropyl alcohol, 91%, some Q-tips, some non-conductive thermal grease. For anybody who's cracking graphics cards, don't just use Arctic Silver. I mean, you can, but use it like at your discretion, because it's not like a CPU where the die is actually got like a little shield over it, so you don't have to worry about the pinouts. So using like Arctic Silver on my Threadripper, that's what I used. It's a great cooling compound, but when it comes to the graphics cards, the chip in there, all the pinouts are completely exposed. So if you have conductive grease like Arctic Silver, because it's got silver and zinc and stuff like that in there, if it hits the pinouts, bye-bye. So I've got some stuff that's carbon based. It's got crystals or something like that in there. Pretty good. And some vodka. Alright, let's see here, get this stuff out of here. Oop, there we go. Get this out of my way. Excellent, excellent. So let's go ahead and start cracking this apart. Now, there's a cooler on the memory here. You don't necessarily have to undo these two screws here. For this particular card, you have the 4 screws that hold the cooler down to the chip, and then you've got a perimeter of some screws that holds the cover to the backing to the actual motherboard itself of the graphics card. So let's go ahead and start taking this stuff apart. And if you guys see here, I'll actually point this down. This little screw here has got a little sticker on there. You don't have to worry about it. It's just so that they know if somebody's actually been in the card or not, doing some maintenance, which you guys should pretty much do every so often. You got to replace the compound on it. Oh, come on. I'll just take off this one first. Oh, figures. I got the wrong screwdriver, it looks like. Oh, that's just lovely. I should have tested out my screwdriver first, and I got the wrong one. Oh, let me grab my other kit. Alright, grabbing my kit. Alright, here should be a number 1. Give me my number 1. Yes. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Now, where'd my little screwdriver go? Oh, what did he do with it? Stuff that always happens. It's like you never test everything out, and then, of course, you need stuff. Just changed the paste on 10.570s. Nice. Yep. Going to start doing it to mine now. Alright, now that I got the right stuff. And then the ones that hold the cooler to the chip all have springs on them. Try not to lose it, guys. Take this one apart. Okay. Take you apart. There we go. Get you apart here. Alright, and as you see, it doesn't come apart even though I just undid all those, because I got to do all these perimeter ones because it actually holds the case on here. If you guys got any questions as I'm going along with this, certainly ask away. Right here. Man, there's a lot of screws for these. A lot of little itty bitty screws. And of course, whenever you're taking it apart, kind of be careful of wires and such. Okay, one last one. And it should technically come apart. Technically. Ha, it certainly does. So, I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Now, this can come off. And the cooler is actually separate. Wow, that's interesting. That is really interesting how they did that. Okay, it looks like I'm going to have to do a little maintenance even on this. It looks like their standoffs didn't come off properly. Oh, wow. So I'm going to have to actually grab a little tool here so that I can grab onto this and actually get this to unscrew, because I got to get this back on the cooler. Come on. There we go. That's one. And then, of course, this is what I'm talking about here. So the little standoffs for the cooler actually unscrewed out of the cooler. So now I've got to put them back in. So much for them using Loctite, right, guys? Give them a little tighten. Alright. Let's do this again. I got 3 of these. 3 of these stupid standoffs that gotta come off now. And I'm trying to do this without losing the spring that's behind it. Joy, joy, joy. Alright, here. Turn you, get you on there. They do put thread locker on there. I wonder why it loosened up. They must have not put enough thread locker on it. Or they didn't tighten it enough on the aluminum because they were being little wussies. And one last one. And let's see here. And let's see. Come on, get out of there. Alright, bam. And that's the last standoff. And now these are all back in. You want to make sure you put the standoffs in the same positions and all that good stuff. Alright, bam. Alright, so, and then the cooler is actually really clean, so I don't have to worry about having to clean more of that. Alright. And like I was saying before, those other 2 screws, they're for the cooler here. Now, I could, if I wanted to, remove that and then replace the thermal pad underneath, but the cards themselves have been, the memory-wise, have been really cool. I probably, the next time I go to crack this card, I'll probably end up replacing the thermal pads at that time. Alright, here. And now let's, I'm going to unplug the fan header out of this. So I can play with the boards separately. Now I can separate that because, again, I'm doing some fan replacement on this bad boy. So, let me get my box of fans. They're behind me here. There we go. So, like I said, I've got brand new fan replacements. Now, they don't say ASUS on them. I'm not worried about it. All I care about is that they are the same fans. Yo! Get this out of my way, give me some more table room here. Take off. There's four screws down in here to hold the actual fan assembly to the chassis. Alright. As the fans try to fall out, of course. Alright, flip that over. Yeah, there's like a bazillion screws to get these fans out. Alright, has anybody got any? Alright, Blaze Mason, I'll see you when you get back. Alright, so I got 4 screws for the fan. One for the little wire hold down, one for the other wire hold down. Alright. One more screw, and you guys are, the fans are ready to come on out of there. Alright. Alright. Ba-bam, ba-bam, ba-bam. Oh, bam. Alright, so all 4 fans are out. Now, next thing I got to do is that if you see here, the fans are kind of captured in here. So I've got to undo this wire and both the fans drop out the front side. And bam, just like that. Just that easy, guys. The fans are out. Now I can put these bad boys off to the side. Whoops. Of course, I'm going to drop everything. And which fan was not the bad one? Okay, so this was the fan that's still good. So I will put this into my parts bin. This one, not so good. Alright, so put that off to the side there. And now unplug these ones and reverse the process. Alright, so bam. Reverse process. Put this one back in the first. You guys got any questions whatsoever? Alright, and then whenever I'm setting multiple screws, I don't tighten everything down until all the screws are set. Otherwise, if you're off a little bit, you'll have an issue trying to shift them around to get everything into its proper home. Bam, that's one screw. Get over here. And it also helps to have a little magnetic tip on here, just to kind of help hold the screw in place while you're dropping it in. Alright, bam. Oop. Get you started. That's awesome. And should be one more screw left. And if you guys don't feel comfortable doing this, you can certainly get a hold of me. And I can get you like a P.O. box that you can send your graphics cards to, and I can do the maintenance for you if you'd like. Alright, now go ahead and tighten all this good stuff down. Now, if you're doing this, you don't have to like tighten it down like Herculean strength. Like literally, like finger tight's usually pretty damn good. Bam. Finger tight. There we go, finger tight. And yo, we have some fan. We have one fan done. Awesome. Tighten you down. Bam. Alright. So, that's one fan. Now let's get the other one in its home. Alright, get you on there like that. Hey, Blaze Mason, welcome back to the show. So I just got the one fan in, if you missed it. Now I'm going in for number 2. And if you missed it, I was doing the explanation of do not tighten everything down until you've got all the screws set too, blazing. Alright, so... Alright, bam. Ah, dropping screws. Come on. Oh, stop dropping. Don't drop and roll. What is wrong with you? It's like as soon as I touch a fan blade with a screw, it falls off. Hey, EJ, welcome back. Alright, so I'm getting in the last fan right now, tightening her, getting all the screws set in place. As I keep dropping these stupid little screws. God. Dang it. As soon as I touch the fan blade with the screw, it falls right off my tool. It's like, stay on there. Just for 2 seconds. Let me get you in your hole. Alright, last one. Alright, here. And again, you don't have to tighten these down too tight. Just like finger tight's all they need to be done. Any tighter and you're probably stripping everything out. And now I got 2 really smooth rolling fans. Yo, look at that. Roll that smooth bean footage. Alright, so now I can plug these bad boys back together. And then the fan control comes at it just like this. So for right now, I'm going to leave this separated so I can have this flat on the table here. And because like I want to clean this, and I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but the paste is hard as a rock. And it's like there's bare spots where I can actually see the chip underneath where they didn't get enough coverage with their own thermal grease. So we're going to rectify that. Get some of that trusty rubbing alcohol. Alright, let me get a paper towel. Yeah, this stuff's like crusty. Ew. Oh, this is nasty. So nasty. It's like flaking off. Alright. Get me a little rubbing alcohol. This. Get it to clean up really nice here. And try to get all the like little stupid particulates off of the CPU itself. If you don't, you're not going to get real good good heat transfer. You don't necessarily have to make sure you get it out from where the pin set is, because they're already using non-conductive grease in there. it off of there. And this stuff like flakes bad. And I try to get the fingerprints and stuff off of it if I touch it or whatnot. Perfect. So as you see, now we got a nice clean chip on there. So now I can actually apply some thermal grease back up onto it. And now because I'm using non-conductive, I'm using TG7, which is a carbon base thermal grease, so it's definitely non-conductive from Thermal Take. So you can sit here and put as much of this on there as you want. It's not going to hurt anything. Alright. And then I also want to clean it off the cooler. So I can put this off to the side. And I got to clean it off the cooler next. Excellent. Damn, this stuff's like a hard rock coming off. Ew. That's disgusting, actually. Let me get this going. Awesome, awesome. I try to clean up as much of the residue as I possibly can. There's like little grooves in here on the cooler. I'll try to get as much of it as off as I possibly can. Excellent. All right. And that's a properly clean piece now. Yo! Now, get the chunks off of here. Jesus. Oh. Alright, so remember the orientation of how you have everything, and going to try to land this the first try. Let's go ahead and where'd my tool go? Here we go. It's not going to work the way I want it to. Alright, but bam. Let's see here about getting you guys in one try. That's one. And two. Whoa! Alright. Alright, get the last one in. Bam. Awesome, awesome. I always try to do like a cross pattern. It's kind of the mechanic thing in me. And again, these don't have to be like Herculean tight. They just need to be tightened down. Finger tight's usually good enough. Because it can only tighten down so far. It's going to be going right onto the standoff, so you don't want to like crush the board in between it. Last thing you want to do. And, yo, look at that. Cooler's back on. Everything is back to normal. Alright, so from here, don't forget to plug everything back in. Of course. Trying to do this like one-handed on with the cooler in the way. Oh, helps if I have the plug facing the right way too. There we go. Oh, see, right back in, snaps back in the way it's supposed to. Now, whenever you're putting these wires back in, just kind of be careful of where you're placing them. You don't want to pinch anything. All right, y'all. Get everything out. I'm trying to tuck it out of the way so it doesn't interfere with anything. And bam. Alright. Excellent. Alright, I got all of that back on. Excellent, excellent. And again, do not tighten everything down until you got all of the screws in. Actually, Blazing, yes there is. So for, that's actually a really good question. So, whenever you're mining, especially after a year's worth of mining on the graphics cards, since I don't have this one finished, so this fan will spin beautifully, as you see here. Bam. Beautifully spins. Now, what ends up happening over time, as you see, this one doesn't spin. No matter how much I try to flick it. So this fan here is dead. This one's okay. So this one I'll put off to the side as a good fan still. Good parts. This one I'll end up pitching just this fan. I'll replace them both at the same time though. So for mining purposes, you're either looking at having to learn how to fix the GPUs yourself, doing this maintenance, sending them out for RMA, letting NVIDIA, Asus, Gigabyte, whoever your card manufacturer is, do the maintenance on there, which that's going to take you from anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks to get your card back. So you got 2 to 4 weeks of your card being MIA, not mining, not being utilized. So even if it's your own graphics card and it's in your main PC, do you have a spare graphics card that you could slap in your PC if your graphics card takes a dump on you? I know I don't necessarily have extra GPUs to just place in any machine that I have. So let's go ahead and start tightening the plate back on. But again, I'm not tightening everything down right up at front. I'm just kind of setting all my screws in first. Oops. Of course, these things want to fall off of my tool. Alright, got that one back down. That's awesome. And let's see here. Ah. Awesome, awesome, Blaze. And these little screws just don't want to cooperate when you got a jittery hand. That's awesome. Grab another screw. Awesome. And I got 2 more left. Awesome. And it looks like all my holes are lining up. Last one, and I can start tightening everything down. Awesome. And again, you don't have to tighten these down really tight. It's only going into plastic. Bam. 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 And just like this, I think that was all of them. Bam. And, oop, I missed one. Hey. That's why we always double check. Double, triple check everything. Excellent. Alright, so that is a properly working fan. Whoop. Of course, this one, anytime you're doing something, it goes back together, and then you gotta do a small little modification. It looks like this wire's just tucked up too much. There we go. So there was a little wire in here. It was like arced up a little bit, so I had to basically push it back into its harness a little tighter. And now, nice and quiet. Ooh, I want to do it to this one too. This one's kind of close too. This one, they did the same thing on this side too. Oh, that's better. Yeah. So, the wires, they gave it a little extra length just to reach into the motor. I had to basically just tuck it back down and straighten it out a little bit nicer so that I don't have any fan failure later on. Let's go on to number 2. Yo! Anybody got any questions so far? Anything whatsoever? Otherwise, I'm going to move on. Do my next GPU. Because this is just that much fun. I actually like doing this. So, and it doesn't actually take that long to do this. As long as you don't mind tinkering and stuff like that. The price on one of these 1070 Ti's depends on where you're getting them from, because of course you can't really get the 1070 Ti's very easily new because they were being discontinued. These particular ones were $250 a piece, and they were used, hence why I'm having to do some maintenance to them. They came from a fellow miner, from Peter Saddington from Decentralized TV. I picked 5 of these off of him. And I'm going to be re-thermal compounding all of them, actually, but I'm just basically going through and showing you guys a couple of them. So now I just released the fan assembly on this. I could take that, put that off to the side, and then you're just left with a cooler. Now, if you were really desperate and didn't want to spend any, you had an extra fan around, you might be able to put fans on this and cool it that way. I just don't do it that way. Alright, got one of those off. Alright, got that one off. Looks like these risers are coming off really nicely. Demand for experienced in fixing these, yes. What is the price of one of these? Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you're getting the graphics cards from, depends on your pricing on them, but if you're getting them used, do not be afraid to either have to repair them or send them out to be repaired. And, oh wow, that would be a good reason why this particular one was getting so bloody hot. I don't know if it's going to show up too well, but you see here right next to my finger, it's kind of shiny. There's actually no thermal grease sitting on the chip right there. So from the factory, they did not get good grease on here. That's kind of sad. All right, here. Go ahead and start cleaning this off too. Go ahead, give it a good clean. This stuff comes off in chunks. I wonder what kind of grease they use. I mean, granted, it's only like a year-old graphics card. You would think that this grease wouldn't be so nasty like this. Scott Holtzman, what's gone? Oh, the grease off of this. Yeah, it's gone. Gone, long gone. Yeah, Peter did put him through the process. That is for sure. Oh, yes, grease gone. Yep. Alright, now let's try to get it off the cooler. And even on the cooler, it doesn't even have a lot of grease on there. So, hey Zeus, you need to do a better job. Like I can almost chunk it off with my nail. That's disgusting. Alright, right here. Alright, alright. Alright. And, alright, get some of the Q-tip to get into like the little grooves in here. There's like little grooves on the cooler here that I want to make sure I get the old compound out of. And the reason why you're putting compound in here is even though the surface looks and feels really smooth and really flat, if you look underneath the microscope, these things are beyond flat. There's so many ridges and everything in there, so you gotta sit there and take your time and do this. And then since I got it off, I'm gonna make sure the standoffs are nice and tight on this one. That's tight, and that's tight. Excellent. Alright. So what I can do at this point, I'll put the cooler back on here, so I will throw some grease on you too. Kind of land this thing really nicely. Take your time if you're going to do this. screwdriver back out. Let's get the first one tightened. Alright, that's one. There we go. That's two. Yeah, let's get number 3 in here. And again, don't have to go crazy on getting it super tight. You'll feel these things snug up whenever you get it tight. You know, you're just trying to capture the board in there on the riser. Tight. And I'm just doing this with a couple of fingers, tightening it down. Ooh, almost dropped my screwdriver too. But just finger tight. Nothing crazy. Alright, bam. So boom. Oh, nice. Yeah, dollar cost average with your tax return, most certainly. Blazing Mason, if you want to get your rig up and going, definitely hit me up. I'll help you out, no problem. Help you get the right parts on there, help you do your build and everything. I mean, I can't build it for you, but I can help you step you through the process. So now the cooler's on here. Now after mining for over a year, the coolers are pretty clean. The card itself is very clean underneath, so it was well maintained. Now let's get to the fun parts. Let's undo these. Time to play some more fans. All right. All right. There we go. Alright, so undo that. Whenever you're taking out screws or whatnot, try to do this with everything on as much of a flat surface as you can. It makes it a little easier so you don't break the plastic. And bam. Get this one real quick. So there's like 4 screws from the front, 2 from the back on the fans. Nice and easy, actually. Oh, no problem, Blazin'. Yeah, just hit me up in my Discord anytime. Alright. And then, of course, flippeth fans over. Oh, you need your laptop? Oh! Man, I'm not sure where your phone's at. 1, 2, 3, 4. That was my wife, guys. 4. I think I heard a screw fall. I think I picked it up. Awesome, I did. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, go ahead and unplug this bad boy, and it gets it out from behind. And again, this one is my good fan. Man, both of them are. Is this one the good one? Yeah, both of them are. Both of my good fans are the ones with the extra length of wire on there. Now that's kind of odd. I wonder if that's a common problem. And again, this one's like, I quit. I'm not going to spin anymore. It's out of here. And let's grab another set of fans. And let's open up my box. Alright. I said open box. Of course, it's gonna give me an issue trying to open. There we go. Probably should have tried to open these boxes up before I went on stream, but whatever. Keeps it more real this way. Raw, uncut, straight to your firmament. Right. And the long wire goes into you. And a little dirt on there. Bam. Alright. Let's get one of these screws to hold the back side of the fan on. Alright. Get this bad boy in here. So. Get another one of these awesome screws. Let's make sure. That's awesome. Get my wire plugged in. And then I can also tuck the wire, make it look all nice and pretty. Yeah. Get the wire pulled so all the wire slack is underneath now. Excellent, just like that. Yeah. Alright. So now I can attach the front side of the fan in. Alright. Ah! I keep dropping these freaking screws. They're so tiny. So little. All I have to do is just sneeze on them and they're gone. Alright, there we go. And one last screw to get you in. Alright. Awesome. Now let's get onto this one. Excellent. Anybody got any questions while I'm putting this together? Bam. Yeah, thank God for these magnetic tip screwdrivers. I would never be able to put these together. Alright, one last screw for the fans. Then I can put the chassis back together. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now I can put you back onto here. Flip you over. Yeah, pro tip magnets. Yes, Scott. All right, here. Yes, nerd, that is 100% true. He actually brings up a very valid point. If you notice, I'm not putting the magnet like right near here in any way, shape, or form. Here, let me. So, behind here is the memory. So, try to be careful about not letting the magnets go right on top of the memory. Might cause some permanent damage, depending on the type, if the memory is, how sensitive the memory is. But as you see, I'm more keeping it to screw locations away from memory. So that is something that I make sure to, you know, not to touch anything, important. If I had to loosen up these two screws here, I would grab my other screwdriver that I've got in my drawer over there, just because that's a non-magnetic screwdriver. Yeah, if you touch the BIOS chip, you're done too. From earlier, you have a guess of what the problem was? No. What was the problem from earlier? Did you figure it out finally? A surgeon with that magnet. Oh, yes. And then again, I don't try to tighten everything down until all screws are put in, and then you can go tightening everything down. But again, don't tighten it down too much. It's a lot of times you're going into plastic, or you're just sandwiching the board and giving it support, so it doesn't need to be super tight, guys. Yep, I had a feeling that you were going to get rid of that. The fire McAfee, McAfee's not bad. I mean, for security purposes, McAfee's there for people who don't know how to be secure. Problem with McAfee is that he might be into crypto, but his software is not. So, if you guys don't know the conversation that EJ Legend is talking about, I was helping him get Hive working on, not Hive, yeah. NiceHash working on his PC or his laptop, and McAfee was basically blocking every aspect of it. Yeah, nerds like McAfee don't even like McAfee. I always chuckled whenever Peter told me, he's like, yeah, just Google it. McAfee uninstalls McAfee. It's actually quite comical. So, this is this card put back together. Yo, check that out, guys. I have moving fans, and these cards should actually be a lot cooler. I know I'm at that 1 hour point. You guys want to see me do some more? Oh yeah, free spin. Yeah, considering that this bad boy, it's like, doesn't even want to try to. While the other one that I pulled out spins beautifully. Yo! So, we're going to go ahead and you get a like for that one. Yo, thank you. So, I guess I will start to... Now this one I have no clue how to take this one apart. Okay, so it looks like it's a bunch of little screws. I'm going to take off perimeter screws first. And see if I can get the cooler to separate off of this. I bet you I got to take off everything. So, let's go ahead and do this. We all get a gold star for that one. Alright, let's go ahead and start stripping this bad boy. Yep. Now this one, this card I'm re-thermal pasting just for my brother. All right, and got all 4 of those. This is one beefy card for just being a little card like this. I wonder if I got to take off all these screws off the back of this thing. Nerd, you're funny. Alright. Alright, so this card has a bazillion screws on it. I wonder why they need so many bloody screws just to hold a cooler onto this. NVIDIA, why? Holy cow. A bazillion screws later. Okay, so... Alright, I guess I gotta take apart all these ones too, jeez. Oh yeah, wow. They want every screw off the back of this. Oh, okay, there's a couple of hidden screws here. Yeah, must be streaming. Alright, so I don't get this card, but aha, there we go. Just had to give it a little pull. So sometimes you got to give it a pull. Alright. Okay, there's a couple of screws in the front I/O plate. Aha! I bet you they want me to take these out too. Hopefully this is all I need to take off. These things got a bazillion frickin' screws in them. Holy snaps. Aha, here we go. Bam. Oh my gosh. And then be careful like this stuff, guys. I've got 2 sets of wiring on here. So whenever you're pulling stuff apart, don't just like pull. Let me have to unplug this one so I can actually strip the cooler away. Bam. Alright, now I can go bam, bam, bam. So look at that. Wow, this chipset is so old that the thermal grease is almost completely off the whole chassis itself. Wow. That is wild. The thermal pads look like they're in good shape. Wow. So they've got like a little opening down here for where the fan goes to allow a little air to come in from behind the cooler. And then the rest of it goes right across this cooler that's captured in here. And man, I would love to take this apart, but that looks like an undertaking in itself. Oh well, I wanted to see what was in here anyway, so this kind of gives me a new respect for the blower cards. This cooler is actually pretty heavy too. Wow! So let's go ahead and start doing some cleaning on it. Yeah, this one had like a bazillion screws. I've never seen that many screws before. It's like, holy cow. For sure. Alright. Let's go ahead and clean this up. This card is probably going to run better than it's ever ran before. Clean up everything really nicely. And try not to like let little chunkies, if you got like a paper towel that starts to shred on you, try not to leave the shreds behind. Okay, perfect, perfect. I love it. Good, thorough clean. Wow. Let's get another one of these Q-tippies out. Clean the plate really nicely. And this plate's got, this like cooler plate's actually got like, looks like hot spots already burned into it. So it looks like the CPU in this thing has been overheating a few times. let me grab another cloth. I like to try to get a piece of cotton on here. Hold on, I'll be right back, guys. And all right, cool. And yes, I did just grab a sock. I use socks to actually clean my glasses too sometimes. They just work really well. The cotton on there just is a little tougher and doesn't like let little chunks out. But I don't know if my camera will pick this up. You see how there's like little dark spots on this? That's actually the cooler plate getting hot, really hot. So if this thing had any heat problems, I hope we are solving that right now. More than likely we are, because we're about to put on some really good grease. So you really can't put too much of this stuff on at all. And of course, these pins are going to be a pain and a you-know-what to plug back in. Alright, that one's plugged in. Hey, I got it. And then I like to flip these over, let the cooler be on the ground. And then really carefully try to slap this stuff back together. Bam. Just like so. And then the first thing, even when you're doing the blower cards, the first thing you want to do is tighten down the cooler to the chip first. Nice, camera did pick it up, cool. And again, don't need to tighten these down with Herculean strength, even on these. On this particular card, as soon as I got it in place, it lined up all the holes, so I can actually tighten these down right away. And then time to put on the bazillion screws. Da-da-da-da. And bam. God, I've never seen so many screws come out of something like this before. Alright, let me get one of these end ones in. Hey now, I said stay in. You're too good for your home. Finger tight, guys. Let me get these front ones on this front I/O plate here. Ooh, don't be dropping screws. one wants to be a pain. Of course. Always got to have that one that's gonna be a pain in the you know what. Oh, oop. Thank God I fell in my pan. Okay, now stop freaking dropping. Alright, we'll do you this way then. Bam. All right. Heck is this one? Gonna be a butthole. Of course, it's always got to be the one that's gonna be a butthole about this. It's like, get in your home. Ah, there we go. It just wanted to be a butthole about going into its home. There we go. Now it's all in. Yeah. Now, the bazillion screws on the backside. Bam. 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 Get in there, little screw. Yeah. Ah. My hands are too big. The screws are too small. Bam. Tighten you down. Bam. I swear, man, most of this show is gonna be like me just tightening a screw. It's like, holy cow. And these 980 Ti's, they're not bad cards. They take a little bit more power, but they will give you similar performance to a like a 1060, 1070-ish. So it's why I'm willing to do this, and my brother's actually got this card sold to somebody, so it'd be nice to give him a refurbished card, basically. So he's going to have some good performance out of it, and it should not overheat on him. Almost. All right. Now this particular 980, I did some mining on Nice Hash with it, and at the time, it was getting like 53 cents a day on Nice Hash. And seeing the thermal paste, that's why I couldn't push the card too much further. So bam! Card back together, guys. Yo! Ha! Yeah! So, fan on this one is very good. I've very rarely do I have issues with blower style fans. So this one is another one that goes into the done pile. So, if you guys want to see me rip apart a 1080 Ti, do some maintenance on this bad boy. Because this one I'd like to actually pull apart and put some thermal pads and stuff like that onto also. Yes. Alright. Let's see how this bad boy comes apart. I have no idea how you come apart in any way, shape, or form. Alright, here. So, just kind of taking a look and seeing how this one comes apart. Alright, I'm going to just take apart these 4 screws here and see what happens. Hope for the best. Apart the screws. Alright, let's see if you... Alright, let's get these bad boys out of the way. And I think I've got to take out the one other screw here. These are the only screws that I see on this thing that I can get at. So, let's see. Aha, there we go. Bam! Alright, so let me detach my fan here. Alright, so I can just flip this over like this. And yeah, even this one, this is why this one was getting pretty hot too. So, let's see here if I can get it to shine just right. But you can almost see it that the chipset's got not a lot of thermal grease on there. Even the cooler itself doesn't have a whole lot. There we go. Doesn't have a whole lot. Yeah, filter the air and you'll never have to clean. Yeah, if you can put your graphics cards into a clean room, yo, you will be happy. So, if you notice here, there's this like little black strip right here. This is not a thermal pad in any way, shape, or form. It like rides right on this cooler right here for the memory. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put myself some thermal compound, some thermal tape on here to see if I can get more heat transfer through into this, because obviously this is like heat blocking that thing. So if I can get it to get more performance out of it, because it's already got a heat tape underneath there. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull this up. Because all this for is, I think, is for whenever you're slotting this in, if it like tweaks a little bit. Now I'm going to have to clean this up really quick. Of course, I don't have a little comb. And let's see here. I'm going to have, I got a little pick over here. Hold on, guys. I know I have something. Here we go. All right. It's like I got to get some of this glue stuff out of here. All right. Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on. The paste itself, it depends. I mean, for a normal graphics card you're not mining with, it's just your gaming PC or whatnot, I would say you probably want to re-thermal paste every, like, anywhere from 2 to 5 years. If you're mining with it, as soon as you see your temperatures start to spike abnormally, you might want to consider pulling them apart. All good questions. All right. All right, so let's grab, and then this here is thermal pad. You have to kind of cut it down to size, and of course this, I don't have a scissors with me anywhere. Kidding me? Thank God I'm real close to the kitchen. All right. And go ahead and snippy. All right, so and let's see here. Kind of size this stuff up. Get this out of my way. And all right, so holy cow, 87 on your temps? That is crazy high, dude. What's your fan speed at? That's like really high. Wow. $100? Holy cow. Are you mining right now? Yeah, your temps are way too high, man. You should probably, like... Is this on a laptop? EJ, most certainly. So as you see here, I just put some thermal tape on here to help try to get some of this heat to transfer up into the cooler a little bit more effectively. And bada bing, bada boom. All right, here. And I need to unplug this so I can get the cooler out of the way. And I'd like to actually crack this back plate off too, and put some thermal tape behind this too. So, a bazillion screws. Right. Now the memory that's around the processing chip here, they all have thermal tape on there, so they try to keep this thing as cool as they possibly could. All right, and bam! All right, cool. So now I'm gonna do some more of this awesome surgery here, and I'm gonna put another thermal pad on the back side of this, in between the back plate and the back side of the board, to help try to transfer some of this heat out from behind here. Where's my scissors? Here they are. Alright, cut this up. Alright. So, I can go ahead and right across here is where I'm going to lay down this tape. Give myself a little sizing here. Right. This is the stuff that they don't tell you how to do. So, I'm going to put some of this right here. Right on this memory. Come on, plastic. Now there's a plastic film on top of this thermal tape. Definitely peel that off. All right. And then I'm gonna do it a little around here too. Just to kind of help this all out, man. These things like to live life hot. And this is not conductive, so you don't have to worry about it like conducting through anything. And it's really kind of silly, but I'm right on the memory. I don't know what it is about the memory, but sometimes it has like this oil. My suspicion is that the oil is the thermal tape kind of oozing out a little bit. but I'm going to fix it by doing this. Yeah, I've never understood it, but right around the memory on these things, it doesn't matter what NVIDIA you got, right around the memory, they like to, like, let loose some kind of weird, like, oily substance. Standoffs and see if I'm actually got enough thermal tape back here, because the last thing I want is that I got it too thin, which is what it looks like. Alright, I got it too thin, guys. No problemo. We put more on. I will keep putting more of this stuff on. No problem. Let's see here. Let's see if I've actually am in contacting now. Making sure. Oh yeah. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so for the back plate, it needs a 2-layer. All right, perfect. Alright, clip. Anybody got any questions for what I'm modifying here or anything like that? Here. Alright, so it looks like this should be the trick. Alright, get off of my fingers. Alright, cool. So now I got enough height on here to these thermal pads should contact this back plate now and try to transfer some of this heat through instead of letting this back plate just hold on to all that heat. Ah! And of course, this one piece doesn't want to stay stuck. Back on here like so, and then I got to put all of these screws back in. All right, here, screwdriver. All right. Come on. Teeny tiny screws, man. Good God. Now hopefully all of this work will make this card run a hell of a lot cooler. Because whenever you're mining, the first thing that'll happen whenever you start getting too hot is your card will start to thermal throttle. And then you start getting less hash rate while utilizing the same amount of power. No bueno. Ugh. Alright, so if you guys got any questions, certainly ask away. Next thing I'm going to do is some cleaning. Yo! Clean off that nasty old grease off of here. That's so nasty. Yeah, 87 is like fire starter. We call you the fire starter, the one and only fire starter. That's awesome, Blazin'. I love it. Alright, so that's nice and clean. Alright. Cool. I'll give you a gold star for that one. Alright, so get another Q-tip here. Kind of go over this one last time. Alright, so bam. Go ahead and turn this bad boy around so I can plug this one in. Make sure your wires are always properly seated, all that good stuff, of course. And since I'm preparing for it to go back together, now I can sit here. I've got all the screws tightened in down here. No other screws except for what holds on the back. So now I can sit here and greasy this up. Alright. Now I can carefully flip. I forgot to do one other thing. Make sure I put this back on since I used it. I stole that to go onto the back. But I did cut another one just in case. Bam. Just like that. And if the card tries to overheat on me now, I guess I'll be taking it apart. Let me flip this thing upside down like so. And then I'm not tightening this down all the way quite yet. All right, almost, guys. One last screw, and I can tighten her down. Bam. 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 And bam. And now, that's a properly done up thing. And you can see here, I've got some thermal pads here. I have some right in here where this was a nice localized hot spot. I have some right behind here because this was a nice localized hot spot. So, and then I got brand new thermal compound down here. So this card should live life for another few years without having any issues, especially under normal conditions. For mining, I'll probably end up, you know, every year or two, at least cracking it to replace the thermal compound, because when you're mining on it, everything just gets nice and hot and it dries everything out. So hoping that not everything dries out too quickly, because I put some better stuff on here. Let me go ahead and cap that off. And there should be no issues with these firing up because they're all non-conductive grease. So this was Thermaltake's TG7, which is got diamond molecules in there, which are all carbon base. You want to use carbon base versus any kind of metal, just because of the style of chips that they have in here, that they don't have a lid on top of them to protect them from any kind of like Arctic silver or anything like that. So I do recommend using a carbon base, at least for the GPUs. Now my graphics card, I mean my main computer with the CPU, I do use Arctic silver on that one, but again, it's got an ISH cover on there, so you don't have to worry about the any kind of like liquid metal or anything like that getting into the pinout unless you put it underneath the chip. And in that case, we have to have a different discussion. So does anybody have any kind of questions over anything that I've gone over so far? Anything whatsoever. And if you guys haven't done so, definitely smash that like button, guys. Smash it away. Smash it for that knowledge bombs. Yo! So it doesn't look like anybody's really got any other questions. I've gotten 4 graphics cards done in the last 2 hours. I can actually point it at me now. But yeah, so we've done 2 Azuses with dead fans. Yoo! That now all spin the way they're supposed to. Awesome! re-thermal pasted my brother's card. Would have to really open up the cooler section in order to really clean out in here, but everything looked really good inside of there. And then re-put new thermal paste onto this one and did some memory modifications to help try to cool this card down as much as I can, because this card is a hot bastard. I've got one other Zotac that I'd like to do the same thing to that one as I did to this one. And then I've got 3 other Azuses that I just want to re-thermal grease, but I'll do those on another time. If you guys don't have any other questions, I guess I will be cutting loose here. Anybody got any other questions? Anything at all? It's time to ask a mine or something. Any specific mining questions, anything like that before I take off and go about doing other things for today? Especially helping out EJ, trying to get his temperatures to come back down. Nope, EJ's got nothing. Nobody else. How about Blazin? You got any questions, Blazin? Hey, EJ, you should probably stop mining. If you're at 89 now, turn off your miner. I don't want you burning up your stuff. Info overload. No problem, Nern. If about time somebody can do it right back to you. So, since nobody has any other questions or anything like that, of course, I'm going to probably end it right here then, guys. And definitely, on your way out, smash that Lizzie like button, hit the subscribe button, bell notification, share these videos with everybody. Always helps me out, guys. And, of course, I will definitely see you all on the next one. Peace.